Hey, this is Darren. Welcome to the Diamond Life Design series, and we're on video 7 now. I'm losing count, right? Please go back and watch the other 6. It was really evolved. If you've just jumped in at number 7 here, we've taken you on a journey of how the diamond was architected and where it really came from in the beginning, because that journey is quite profound, and it had a certain series of steps which you may just well recognize. Okay, so where we're coming into today is, at this point, we've really covered a lot of the main areas of life off. All right, so we've kind of touched in on the areas of life and why we need to architect across all areas that are important. We moved into the vision, big visions across all of them, and the yearly execution. Right, so the big yearly objectives, bringing it all home in all areas that are important to us. We all then talked about execution of those, bringing it into the quarter, the month, the week. We used the Marathon des Sables as an example of that. We circle back around and hit feelings, which is why that is so important. If we don't build with the end in mind, we can actually be left flat. And there's a whole big thing around ego around that one as well, all right? But that's for a deeper series. We go through that in actually the Diamond Life Framework in the membership site. So, dive in over there and you'll start to see the depth of the work we go to there. But for today's video, we're going to talk a little bit more about roles. Now, roles came a little bit later. I heard about this earlier on in my development, but I kind of ignored it, and then I've come back to it later. Now, the reason being is I started to get a little bit more complicated. So I was very clear on my areas of life. I was very clear on what was important to me in areas of life, and it was moving into vision, and it was moving into the milestones and execution. However, what I recognised is as life got a little bit more complicated, I was playing multiple roles. And there's one thing having goals and objectives and executing everything else, but knowing on a day-to-day basis, so we'll come on to the day in the next video, it's knowing what role am I playing right now? Who am I right now? That sounds interesting, but the original place I heard this was in Stephen Covey's work, probably about 25 years ago. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People was one part of his work, but he also did other parts of work, and he looked at splitting his whole plan was based around roles and the roles you play. And what hit me really hard there was he's saying if you're focused on just one role in life, like being a mother or being a CEO or being whatever, and that part of your life or that role is taken from you, then who are you now? And that kind of hits. I think there's a lot of people where they build a business or they're an entrepreneur and the business collapses and they've got nothing left. This is where suicide comes in. I'm a Welshman, and sadly we've got some really bad tracks of suicide in certain parts of our country. That's just someone who's lost purpose at a deep level. Or maybe a role that they were playing is no longer there anymore. That is some deep work gone on there. So we must understand that we've got to kind of get clear on what roles are important to us. Now, areas of life are not roles, and I've got a number of roles which are really important, and also I am seeking different feelings in some of those roles. Back up to the feelings, I'm a kind of a different person in some of those roles, and I need to be able to pivot and shift. Now, it's not making stuff up and being someone you're not. This is about being able to be fully present in the different roles in your life. So I'll give you an example. One of my most important roles in my life, bar none, is being father. Right, so being a father is, and I've got 3 beautiful girls and another one on the way, is a really, really key role to me. Now, when I'm being a father, I need to be fully present, and I need to be there in a different capacity to when I'm being a CEO of my business, right, or founder of a business, or I'm a speaker. I'm a global speaker on the stages. When I step onto the stage, I'm playing a different role than when I'm stepping in as a mentor when I'm stepping into a boardroom. When I'm being a thought leader, I think that's a funny word, thought leader thing, but when I'm sitting in front of the camera, when I'm creating content to inspire more people, it's a different role at that point. I've got a role as when I'm in meditation, when I'm training, when I'm doing strength. I've got lots of different roles, and when I step into those roles, I want to be the best I can be in those roles. It also helps making sure that I again, back to this elusive balance. Am I playing and I'm balancing the roles in life? Are we balancing the areas of life? So you can start to see where you can go wrong is I could have quite a good balance across areas but miss a role here or there. This is kind of belt and braces approach here, but for me roles, and you'll see how this comes into a daily basis. I don't need to be hitting all areas of my life on a daily basis, But actually there are some roles in my life that I do wish to be seeking and ensuring that I'm fulfilling on a daily basis, especially as a father, especially to my partner in life. So something to be thinking about is the roles we're playing, and as you get a little bit more complex in life, you start to see you play multiple roles. I look behind the camera because my diamond's here, right in front of me, and I have about three or four roles in every single area of my life. That's getting quite complex. But then I'm also really clear on the ones that are key to me now and the ones that are key to me on a daily basis. So something to consider a little bit deeper, and this is exactly how we architect within the Diamond Life Design Framework, piece by piece, role by role, as we start to map out and architect the perfect life for you.